this way. All right. I hate holding it this way. Shit. Especially with this phone. All right, guys. Trying to see where the camera. Okay, so basically, I just want to say good morning, and also, I just want to say, to Kelly, your daughter was in my prayers, and I'm so happy that she made it through that. For those of you guys who don't know, check out my community page. Um, you'll see a video by Kelly's daughter. It's amazing. Like I thought she was leaving a Halloween party, but she was actually leaving something at Universal Studios, and it was Halloween related, but at Universal Studios. Um, Unbelievable footage. Her daughter's very great. Um, of course, Kelly is probably like so worried as any mother would be. But anyways, also speaking of um, what's it called? To be honest with you guys, I've been working on the funeral of the RTP channel. And I just kind of wrote some notes this morning on some stuff I had been looking at. And I can't even check my email yet. My phone was supposed to be dropped off at 6 a.m. Still haven't gotten it. So now she's saying lunch. But I took the day off today. You know what? Even if it means less money, I don't care. I'm gonna expose this guy, and I want to get this done. So let's see. So it's been 34 days since Nancy Pelosi opened up this impeachment inquiry. And here we are on the 34th day, and someone said, "Hey, Nancy, what about the impeachment um, the impeachment proceedings?" And she said, "There are none." Like, what a dumb thing to say. Like, I guess she probably said it because the real question would be impeachment inquiry, which means that all these closed door meetings that they're doing, they're not getting anywhere. And by the way, today, Alexander Vinman, a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army, I believe, um, he will, and he's also an expert on the country of Ukraine. Forgive me, I didn't get much sleep. Okay, so he's also an expert on Ukraine. He's gonna be the one testifying this time. Because so far, everyone who's testified, it's a nothing burger. They try to leak something that sounds like something, but in the end, it's always nothing because ever since the Mueller thing, ever since the Russia gate, ever since just everything throughout his whole administration, everything, they just keep throwing stuff against shit against the wall and seeing if it'll stick. I mean, meanwhile, USMCA has not been passed. Meanwhile, there's all these things that they could do. There's so many different bills that are bipartisan that could be passed easy, but instead they're wasting their time with shifty shift and closed door proceedings away from the American people. Disgusting. Um, Also, some sad news out of India. A toddler died after 70 years. I mean, 70 hours in a well. Um, and India is one of those countries that has nukes. You think I understand. I do actually understand how difficult it is to get someone from a well, but when you have 70 hours and the kid's been down there 70 hours, I mean, you have nukes. You would think that they would have a way to get down to him, but this poor kid died. Actually, not even. I'm pretty sure it's a boy, but okay. So also, Claps and Brennan, they've been on CNN for the past couple weeks. Meanwhile, both are under investigation by Durham. So I don't know why CNN is having two people being looked into, not just looked into, but looked into because some stuff has come up where, there may be, or there is, um, potential criminal charges coming. And they'll be coming. I mean, this Q stuff is getting more and more legitimate as every day goes on. And I continue to stand by that, like when I believe in something and I don't just believe it, you guys know I'm not a dummy, but I followed this stuff closely. You know, the only thing I don't like is that there's a possibility Obama and Clinton might get off. But then again, they might just be working their way up. I don't like that they made a deal with Comey, but then again, we don't know, what maybe they kind of had to. I don't know. In order to make sure 100% that everyone else went down, which is exactly what's going on right now. Durham's a bulldog. He's up here in New England, and they didn't even know he was involved until just recently. I mean, I knew he was involved about a year and a half ago because of Q. But anyways, all right, continuing. Um, Also speaking of Q, there's rumors out there that Lisa Page was actually the Red Sparrow. Um, that potentially it was kind of like, if you guys know Q, you know about Red Sparrow. Well, Lisa Page supposedly is Red Sparrow. If you guys want to read more on that, there's all kinds of stuff online right now. Also, the I wrote this on my video, where I broke, and yes, broke the story about Baghdadi being killed. It wasn't anywhere on the news, anywhere on line news, anywhere on mainstream media, on TV. It wasn't anywhere on YouTube. Yes, here at this channel was the first place that reported it. Um, Yet, like, somebody obviously with an agenda didn't just write it twice. They wrote four different times. No, you didn't. I saw it. And I live in the UK, and I saw it out of, I don't even know where he said, New Zealand or something. I'm like, listen, like, figure out the time differences, work it all out, and I bet you it doesn't beat what I did. And I even said during the video, this happened about 55 minutes ago. But I didn't see it reported anywhere. I checked all of YouTube and I checked all news. So, if it was somewhere on Twitter, I didn't check. I don't know. But, obviously that guy had an agenda. He's probably a Fugal fag or RTP sympathizer, I guess, because you can't really call them fans. I mean, I don't think he really has any fans. I think he has people who like to see, like, like, it's almost like you drive by and a train crashes. You know, so a lot of people want to stick around and see the carnage. That's his fans. The sooner he realizes that, the better. Well, actually, maybe not. It's too late. He already did too much. And then yesterday, he's trying to come out and act like, talk about lawsuits. You want to talk lawsuits? What are you, an idiot? Anyone that you talked about could easily counter sue you, and you would lose. Trust me. Just because you delete something doesn't mean it's gone. Especially when it comes to the government, they'll get their hands on it and they'll see everything. So don't even start with talking about lawsuits, okay? And by the way, anything you've ever put out, it's been downloaded offline. Just so you know. So good luck with them lawsuits. snitch. And you go shake Iggy's hand. Iggy was nice enough not to beat your ass. And he even said you had your hands in your pockets, acting like a bitch. And then as soon as he approaches you, you have your hands in your pocket and you're coming in peace and all this stuff. So he's like, all right then, fine. And he sat down with you, talked to you, was cool to you, showed you his paperwork because you kept on calling him a snitch. So he had to show you that you know you're lying. And then you made a video talking about how cool you guys were. And then literally the next day, you're back to bashing him, calling him a snitch, and haven't stopped since. And then you sit there and you really do have mental problems. That's the only thing I kind of feel bad about. But since you talked about my family, I don't really give a shit that you have mental problems. I mean, screaming, I rebuke you by the name of Jesus Christ, Satan. I mean, and the people you're speaking to are God fearing Christians. And yes, I know I'm not a perfect Christian, but I do defend my family, and I do almost forgive him, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to expose him. Okay? Today will be the funeral of his channel. I know I said that on 2 other days, but there ended up being way more material than I even knew. He ended up saying way more about me and others than I even knew. Because I only really I watched like his first two videos and then like his last video. Not last night, but like that meltdown video. Other than that, I get screenshots here and there from subs, and I see stuff on there, and I also see who's in there, which is why there will be even further mod cuts today. And that doesn't mean that, hey, you like I said, you guys can watch anyone you want. But if you're gonna be a mod and you're playing both sides, you know, I can't take the risk of having a mod like that because they could wreak havoc on my channel. Delete certain things and not, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things a mod can do. I don't even want to say them out loud, or they might do them. Mods have a lot of power on the channel. Let's see. So, do you guys hear the lock it up, lock him up chants? About talking about Trump. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, what more can a man do? And then Bill Maher, he's sitting there talking about how, what did Bill Maher say? He said, oh yeah, he doesn't want anyone who can be labeled as a socialist to run. No, yeah, politically that's smart, but guess what? Whoever the Democratic voters choose, then that's who it should be. If it's Elizabeth Warren, that's who it should be. If it's Bernie Sanders, that's who it should be. That's their nominee. Who are you to say, no, 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 don't do that, put in Biden or something like that? I will say one thing because I'm an honest guy. I'm an independent, by the way. It's just once Trump came along, and I never seen anything like it. I never seen somebody so honest. I never seen somebody keep every promise he made. I mean, the more that his presidency goes, the more I like him. And it's just proof when you see the powerful mainstream media and the globalists and the elites going after him. It tells you that he really is for the people. For all you people out there saying that he's not, he is. He's bringing troops home. And I criticized him. I'm not scared to criticize the president. I criticized him and I said that he shouldn't have left the Kurds, and because they were going to get slaughtered and there was going to be a genocide. However, there wasn't a genocide. In fact, now that we know what we know, this had been planned for like 7 months. So he planned that with a ceasefire. And the only way the Kurds would come to the table is if there was a little bit of bloodshed. That's what happened. But then the Kurds are the one who helped us find Baghdadi. And then only hours later, like a few hours after I made my video, the second in command, the spokesman of ISIS, was killed. So, also, guys, just so you guys, I know that a dog was injured, but there's been a lot of talk about dog this, dog that. It's like everything. I remind you who died on Dog Day. No Name McCain. Yeah, let's call him No Name. There's something to that. If you guys really look into it, there's more to it. They go out of their way to mention dog, as did President Trump, and he wasn't even talking about the service dog. He was just, he died like a dog, and then the dogs, a dog, and then the tunnel system was real, but was explored by the dog. He's talking about No Name. Now, obviously, there's other parts where he's talking about the service dog, but by the way, something that didn't come until like 2 days later, there was also two special forces guys that were injured. Minor injuries, but injured nonetheless. Whereas the dogs were a little more, a little bit more worse injuries. But he's already back with his handler. All three are already back with their units. So, also, one more thing on that. At the time, I didn't report that it was the Navy SEALs, but I said, I'm assuming Navy SEALs, and then I went on talking about how great the Navy is. It was actually Delta Force. So, whoop to all the Army out there, Delta Force, U.S. Army, great job. That's who took them out, by the way. Let's see. Oh, on the thumbnail, that's Romans 128. Um, I bet you guys can read it and find 10 different meanings of it, but there's a deep meaning behind that, and that's why I wrote it. Um, Mods, if you guys can ask them to get the thumbs up and shares and all that. Um, Please. Um, so yeah, so anyways, yeah, like I said, right after that, the second in command, the spokesman, he was killed as well. So this is all planned well ahead of time. And this could only happen by pulling out and making them feel safe. And I mean, I might be reaching a little bit, but all those ISIS fighters who died, they might have been the ones to reveal the position. Although word is, although you can't really trust 100% what comes out when it comes to military operations, but word is a Kurd was undercover there, but and he's the one who gave the intel. But I'm sure those ISIS fighters ran straight to the compound as well, which usually they could get away with the tunnel systems they have. Let's see. And by the way that the Democrats have handled this whole thing, like, have you guys seen some of this stuff? Like even like the Washington Post, they had an obituary for Baghdad al Baghdadi, okay, and it said freedom fighter, religious scholar, like it didn't even mention leader of the caliphate of ISIS, like that beheaded people and caused so many people displaced and so many people to die. They didn't even mention that. Instead, they talk about how he's a respected religious scholar and a freedom fighter. That's how the Washington Post described him. And it doesn't just stop there. You watch all over the media, there's all kinds of compilation videos. In fact, Tucker Carlson did a great one. Um, it's like unbelievable. You would think that like these people don't love America. I really don't think they do. And they're sitting there making fun of them in the Situation Room. I mean, Republicans didn't do that to Obama when he took out bin Laden. I mean, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It makes no sense to me. And it's going to be what ultimately makes them not only lose the presidential election, no matter whether they go with a socialist or, and like I said, I'm independent. I actually like Tulsi Gabbard personally, as does Amanda. Amanda always liked Tulsi Gabbard, so I started paying attention, just curious. And I was like, you know what, Amanda, I actually like this lady, and she's the most moderate of all of them. 8 years ago, she would be called a liberal, but now with this like progressive craziness, and I mean, friggin' um, ovaries for people in prison, and like just like the craziest stuff I've ever heard. It's like literally like crazy town, and that's why they're not gonna win. Their only chance of winning is having someone like Gabbard, who they are trying to push out, including Hillary Clinton. She's trying to box her out. They'll never let her get the nominee, just like they never let Bernie get it back then. But now Bernie is a lot more radicalized. Um, he's really like pandering to the identity politics, whereas in 2016 he wasn't doing it as bad or nearly as bad. He was still doing it somewhat, but not nearly as bad. Oh, by the way, speaking of, so I made that correction that it was Delta Force. Now there's another video, the one of Adam freaking out. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! As soon as he hears thunder. Well, the person who took that from Adam's stream and made a video of it, and then before I ever made a video, I put him on my community post, and a bunch of you guys went over there. You guys might have subbed to his channel, all that. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but just so you know, in case you want to unsubscribe, if you look at my video now, there's no audio because he went and reported that I took his work. What work? Taking a segment of Adam's channel, basically doing exactly what you did to Adam, except I promoted you on my webpage, community page. Like, really? So now mine has no audio except for the music. Any of the audio that came from him, not Adam, but him, is gone. So, what a scumbag. I mean, he even like apologized, but it was too late. I realized he had already taken the audio, reported it, and the audio was taken out for something that he did to Adam. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Ah, stupid phone. Okay. And by the way, all these people telling me like, listen, Adam is trying to do it RTP with snaps. That's BS. All right. Do you guys not hear when RTP first came on the scene? All right. He made a phone call into Adam's show and said, I am going to go door to door to everybody who is trying to expose you. And he kept right on that promise, except, he didn't come to my door because I told him, you come to my house. It's not going to be like we sit down, have lunch, and then you talk shit about me again 2 days later. No, like you're getting beat up. You're going to show up here with a gun. I'm going to have someone pat you down, and then I'm going to beat you up. And you never came. That's how you deal with cowards. Um, Speaking of him, his funeral, it Who cares? End it now. Don't worry, Patty. It is ended. Um, I'm dropping a video tonight. Like wear black, okay? And what do you mean? Who cares? Adam sat there and encouraged him. He shook his head. He laughed. He smiled. He loved it. He loved it. He wanted him to go to people's houses, and that's exactly what he did. And people lived in fear. Females lived in fear. Females bought guns for that exact reason because they were living in fear. What do you mean, drop it? But don't worry, it will be. Has he dropped it? Because we all decided as a group that we're just gonna be quiet and not do any more videos like that. We didn't do them. We haven't done them. And meanwhile, he has done them nonstop the whole time. So I don't know who you think you're fooling, Patty. But don't worry, it all ends tonight. All right, as long as it's done by tonight, which it definitely should be. I'm taking the day off and working on it all day. Well, not all day, but as much as I can because I also have school, but that'll be quick. And then I could maybe use the school computer and then come home and finish it on my computer. But, you know, tonight will be the end of it and that it'll be over because once people see all of the lies and every single lie proven 100% false, there's no way you'll be able to argue it because it's indisputable evidence that he has been doing nothing but lying to his viewers. And I'm talking about RTP, by the way. Um, you know, once I put out that video, you're gonna see his sub count drop below 1,000. It might even go below 100. I mean, if people have any sense about them. The only ones that'll be left subscribed are people who subscribed and just kind of never paid attention again and don't go on YouTube that much. But yeah, people aren't gonna be happy they've been lied to for this long because I'm not just gonna imply things or just say things or act like a child or like talk in different voices or like say I'm gonna beat you up when you know damn well you couldn't mess with me. Honestly, you couldn't. Like even if I was just like a regular dude, you couldn't. But like I'm not even gonna get into my training, but just if you want to find out, come see. And trust me, it doesn't like make me feel good beating up. I mean, you're not old, but you kind of look old, and you're 51. I mean, you're 14 years older than me, which isn't that much, but it's enough that I don't feel comfortable, especially when the way you look, I don't think you realize how tall and how much I weigh and what I look like with my shirt off. So, and none of that even matters. It's just what I can do with my hands that really matters. I'm just making the point, dude. You stop acting tough, okay? Stop. Street beefs. Probably have a heart attack. All right. So what else? Told you about Claps and Brennan. Told you about that toddler. 34 days. Tell you about Bill Ma. Yeah, so he's saying all that. He's also wanting the economy to tank. Um, like literally, this guy like would do anything for Trump to lose, and it makes me wonder what do they have on him. I mean, I know he's a total creep. I mean, there's a reason he has no kids, never been married. He is a straight sex addict, and ask that do your research. I mean, that's very well known. He frequented the Playboy Mansion like all the time. Good friends with Epstein. Okay, so yeah, sex addict. Now I'm not saying that he did anything with underage girls. I haven't come across any evidence like that. I'm just saying he's a sex addict, and that's fine. But you know, Mr. Glasshouse. Um, Talked about Kelly's daughter. Oh yeah, and I mentioned about him threatening lawsuits. Like, does he think when he deletes a video, it just goes away? They can see every video him and Snaps and Adam have ever made, and they'll be like, okay, yeah, good luck. And then you know what I'll do? I would never do a loss, but since if you try to sue me, I'll do a counter lawsuit, and you will lose. Trust me. I know you can't bleed a rock, but no, I wouldn't mind having a camper, and I'll drive that thing around. Um, yeah, Dems are gonna lose in a landslide. Trump had a plan alone. Video with no audio. All right, so that should be about it. Yeah. So I just wanted to, just talk about a few things, and basically the main thing is I'll be working on that video. I got like barely any sleep. I ended up calling in, pretending to be sick. I hope they don't see this, but we've all done it, in case someone else decides to call my work for a third time. I'm getting sick of this, guys. That's why I'm putting an end to it tonight, Patty. Don't worry, Patty. All right? It is. And it's just drama, and it's all from the other side. Look at all my videos, then look at his. I've been doing truth, 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 truth. What he considers truth is just talking shit and causing drama. So that's why I've been quiet. And I said some stuff this morning, yeah, but that's only because this is the wake. The funeral of his channel will be tonight. I didn't get it finished in time. Go back to prison. I didn't get it finished in time. I got a life, and there was a problem with my phone. But that's none of your business. Don't worry. I'd rather you sweat. I like that you have to sweat. But the sweating is over. Tonight, we're black. We're putting this channel 6 feet under and burying it. And once everyone sees how much you have been lying, there will be nothing left to talk about. And this will all be over. Just know that you tarnished Adam's reputation. And with that, Red Pill News Dispensary out. Go ahead, yeah, drop yours. I'm dropping mine tonight. And God bless you all. Really think about that. That's like the Bible verse of the day. Romans. Yeah, for those of you just joining us, yeah, they're mass flag. For those of you just joining me, they're mass flagging videos now. So go ahead, keep flagging my video because I know the truth hurts. It hurts. I understand. But notice, at least you're able to write in the chat, aren't you? Whereas in your chat, when you named your video after me, you were still able to write in my chat right now. Yet, when you make a video with my name in it, two in a row, by the way, whenever I try to comment under, and I don't do sock accounts, I write either under my name or my sports. And both times I tried, and whenever I try to comment, I get two comments in and then I'm blocked. Coward. Because you don't want the truth getting out. But you can't avoid it. Because tonight is the funeral of your channel. I will bury your channel tonight with nothing but facts. I will not use all the antics that you use and lies and twisting things. No, nothing but undisputable facts. Even your best fans and friends, if you have any, will not be able to dispute it. And they'll tell you you're a piece of shit. Put it that way. That's how convincing it will be. So I'm not just talking a big game, I show a big game. And you're going to see. That's why I call it the funeral of your channel. So, anyways, with that, everybody, in the comments section, you can write anything. But I'd like to hear what you guys get out of Romans 128. And with that, God bless you all. Wear black to the RTP channel funeral tonight. I have to be careful what I say because he might go and call the cops because he's proven to be the snitch. But Red Pill News Dispensary. You know where you hear it. You know where you get the truth. Red Pill out. God bless you. Funeral tonight. Dress in black.